Hey everyone, welcome to Bike Hike Botany. Today I have some really big news. I have reached 500 subscribers. That means I can use the community tab, so I'm able to give you guys more updates on upcoming hikes and just what's going on, as well as sharing some plant info. Okay, so to all of you who have been following me through this journey and have subscribed to my channel, watched my videos, I just want to say big thank you. It took me a while to get here, but yeah, worth every minute of it, and I really appreciate each and every one of you. Okay, so for those of you who are new to the channel, let me introduce myself. My name is Lindsay and I'm a long-time resident here in Costa Rica, and I take everybody who watches my videos out on an adventure, whether that's hiking, biking, or just showing you something really amazing about Costa Rica. My focus is to learn about the natural environment and find some cool plants and share that information with you all, and hopefully inspire some of you to get out there and explore where you live. If I'm out of breath, it's because I've already been walking away just to get to the Miro. I live kind of across town. It rained pretty heavily, so we're gonna have to be careful today. Watch out for landslides. My plan is to take you guys over to Tres Marias, which has a really amazing view of Jacó and Hermosa. So some of you probably noticed I haven't put out a video these past 2 weeks, and this month has been really busy. Been working a lot, just a lot of extra expenses coming up. Haven't really had a chance to get out and hike the last few weeks, so today I'm back at it, and I'm actually gonna get some miles in preparation for a hike that I have planned with my friend Kelly. We are going over to the Chindama waterfalls. We're going again with Caminantes Tequisha. I did a hike with them to Volcan Irazu all the way to Torrealba. That was one of the best hikes I've ever done. And then we have something else in the talks, Kelly and I. So we're planning to do Chiripo before Christmas. So hopefully sometime in the beginning of December. Got myself a great hiking buddy, and we're gonna do that. So if you guys don't know what Chiripo is, it is the tallest peak here in Costa Rica and proclaimed to be the most challenging hike there is. Make sure you guys tune in for that, because you're not gonna wanna miss that adventure. So make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Today what I wanted to talk about is how I began the channel and the entire journey in the past year and a half, and just reminisce a little bit. What were some of the funniest moments? What were some of the most difficult hikes, scariest hikes, that sort of thing. We're coming up onto the first lookout on the Miro Trail. Those of you who watched my videos before, you've probably seen the Miro Trail already. It's a trail I come on frequently. One of the better trails here in Jacó. Definitely a little gray out, but nothing too bad. Beautiful morning out here. It's kind of misty. Not really many people on the trail. Not many people come on the second half of the Miro Trail. Most of them get off over at the ruins of the old hotel. But I like coming out this way. I often see monkeys out here, chizotes, lots of toucans. It's a great local trail. So this is how my channel began. I've always really liked hiking, and since I have moved to Costa Rica, I always tried to go and explore and discover some new places. But once I moved to Jacó, I really got to know the place a lot better. I literally went out hiking all the time, or took my bike out, and came across so many different trails I had no idea existed, and I'm still finding some to this day. And there began my love for hiking. So I started this channel about a year and a half ago, and it was during the pandemic. So basically the channel grew out of my love of plants and just my love of being outdoors and exploring, and just wanting to share that with everyone who was stuck at home and couldn't leave. I was fortunate enough that I lived really close to some mountains and some trails here and didn't have to come into contact with anybody to go hiking. So that's basically where the channel began. You guys have probably guessed it by watching my channel that I have a real fascination with begonias and aroids, philodendrons in particular, and anthuriums as well. Anyways, and there's a lot of those here in Costa Rica. So hiking for me is not just hiking, it's also a learning experience. It's an opportunity to understand my environment, and I find when I start to learn the names of plants around me, I have a much deeper appreciation for nature and for this area, because I see all the different life that this place is home to. I'm not a trained botanist by any means. I used to have a small plant shop here in Costa Rica, but that's been closed for a few years now due to the lovely pandemic that we had. And now I just want to focus on learning more about plants and enjoying nature, hiking. I mean, I do have a job. Richard and I are video editors for other YouTubers, and I also have a macrame business on the side, and I'm also studying part-time to become a programmer, so see how that goes. It's really nice with all the leaves. Sort of reminds me of fall back home. So I could see a lot of fallen trees on the trail. So if you are ever coming out to Costa Rica to hike, just make sure that you're careful, keep an eye on the weather. Here, I have some of these fairy cups, or Cookeina. They're so cute. So this trail has a lot of begonias, a lot of ferns, and it's a great place to spot the green poison dart frog, especially if you come in the early morning up in the shaded areas. During rainy season, you see them quite frequently. They like the humidity up here. So this trail actually connects over to Playa Hermosa. Where we're going today is on a ridge that cuts directly between the Jacó side and the Hermosa side, and it provides some really excellent views of both beaches. Trail's a little messed up today. We had a lot of rains and they're calling for more. We've got another little roadblock up ahead. So one of my most memorable hikes I've done since the beginning of the channel is going to Los Campesinos with Richard. So they have a lot of hanging bridges there, and probably some of you know already I have a fear of heights, more a fear of ledges really, but yeah, wobbly bridges and kind of sketchy ledges just freak me out. I'm sweating buckets here out of stress. We did these bridges and there was one that was over 40 meters long. And Richard had no idea that I was that scared. And basically the entire time I was crossing the bridge, I'm just freaking out and making noises like, ah! And he didn't even realize it until we were back home editing the video. And then he could hear me on the audio basically freaking out. And we just both started laughing so much because he actually didn't realize just how serious my fear was. Don't move it too much! I'm so scared. But good thing is I did overcome it. So even though I'm scared of things, it doesn't mean I am not willing to try. that was a good hike, you know. I felt very proud of myself for crossing that bridge and doing my best to remain calm. Okay, so we're coming up to the end of the Miro trail that connects onto the road that leads to Hermosa. So Hermosa down to the right, or up towards the hills of Hermosa, and Cerro Fresco to the left, which is where we're going. Next, I'm going to tell you about the scariest hike, and if you guys watched the last video I put out, then you'll know that's the scariest hike I've ever been on. That hike was full of crazy ledges. I couldn't even film the crazy parts because I had to fully concentrate on the trail.
This is as close to the edge as where I want to go.
Yeah, same.
Because it just drops right off there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Making me sick, but look at that view. Just look at the view. Don't look down. There were some areas where the cliff was literally 80 meters down towards the ocean and just really scary. It looked like really unstable ground. I remember this one section that Kelly and I crossed on the trail. From afar, we could see that the trail had nothing underneath it, so it was just hanging over. So I guess everything underneath it had been eroded. So luckily we saw that from afar, and then we went around in the bushes and avoided the trail in that section. But it's a pretty treacherous trail, and I could see how someone could easily fall to their death. If you're doing that Reto Mai trail in Quepos, just make sure you're really careful and you have good cell service. You can call for help if you need to. That's by far the scariest trail. You know, Kelly's told me she's also afraid of ledges, which is good because that makes me feel like less of a dweeb when I'm whining about the ledges. This hill's quite steep. I need the training today. Now, brought my hiking pole and I can't even use it because it got stuck and I can't get it undone. I went to the bike shop, see if they could help me out. They said it's really stuck, so no hiking pole for me today. So, you know, it's been really great having this channel, and I have met a lot of people through this channel. You know, some of them have become my real friends. Yeah, actually my friend Kelly, I actually somehow met her through YouTube, which is kind of funny. She had been watching our channel since we began. Basically one day Richard was downtown doing some errands and she recognized him from the channel, so she went over and introduced herself, and she knew that I basically had been without a hiking partner since December, since Richard's accident. So she told him to tell me, give her a call and go hike sometimes. Yeah, we went hiking and everything fell into place. Now, I don't know, I think I've shown her every single trail I know of in Jacó in less than a month's time. She's a really awesome person and I really enjoy her company, so I'm sure you guys will be seeing a little bit more of her on camera. She doesn't want to be too much in the videos, but here and there it's okay, I think. So now for my most amazing hiking moment ever, had to have been back in March when I went to Corcovado National Park, and on the morning of day 2 we saw a mother and baby danta or tapir right on the beach. They walked right past us, like at arm's length away, and they weren't even afraid of us. So I had been wanting to see a danta ever since I moved to Costa Rica. I had made plans with a friend of mine, a childhood friend of mine who used to come here a lot, and we had always wanted to go. Unfortunately, she passed away over a year ago, so you know, I feel so grateful that I was able to go, and I really felt that she was with me the entire time, sharing that experience with me. And I'm sorry, I'm gonna cry. So yeah, I wish Jen was there with me, but it was an amazing experience and I've never seen anything like it. I saw so many monkeys on that trail and it was really beautiful. All right, so now we are at the top here and there's a lookout just up here ahead. You can see all of Jacó. a nice day. So we're getting close to the Tres Marias spot that I want to take you guys to today. I've been out here with Kelly recently and we spotted a lot of birds out here. It's a really nice place, and we also saw some spider monkeys, which I never see out here in Jacó, but definitely saw a whole family of them. Oh, there's a toucan up here. That's the great thing about living around Jacó, is there's just toucans flying everywhere, or macaws flying everywhere. They could just come out at any moment. Always something beautiful to look at. So, you know, and a lot of people say, oh, you're so lucky to live in Costa Rica. It's so beautiful there. And yes, I agree. It really is beautiful here, and I am extremely fortunate to live here. But I do think also that everywhere has its beauty. If you know what to look for, if you know where to look, where to find it, you know, you'll come across a lot of beautiful stuff. So it doesn't really matter where you live. Even if you live in a city, you know, go out and explore. There's always little corners, little pockets that are unknown to you, and you'll find something cool, whether it's like artwork or maybe historical sites or even plants. Plants grow pretty much everywhere. So the most challenging hikes I've been on since beginning the channel definitely was Corcovado, because that was a 3-day hike, and we were hiking quite a good distance every day, about on average 20 kilometers per day. You know, I wasn't super used to doing. I did have to train up to that, and it was in some pretty extreme heat as well. And also the hike I did between volcanoes, so starting in Volcán Irazu and ending in Volcán Turrialba. That was a really challenging hike. This is a hike to train for Chiripo. I really loved it. I felt that was such a great challenge. Yeah, the scenery was incredible. It had been many years since I had been out towards Irazu, and I forgot how incredibly beautiful that whole area is. A lot of dairy farms and pastures, and when we were starting off in Irazu, you could see Volcán Turrialba on the other side, which is currently active, by the way. That was a great hike. You know, a lot of people were breaking down on the way. It was quite a challenge. Those last 10 kilometers were pure uphill, very difficult terrain, but yeah, incredible training. I would definitely do that hike again. Beautiful Philodendrons up in these trees. Another big hill up ahead. And then Monstera pinnatipartita growing up here in this tree. We'll see if I can find a mature one. They're quite common in this area here. Oh, look at that. We have a papaya tree growing on the side of the road. Another pinnatipartita over here. Looky here, looks like there's an epiphytic orchid. I'm not sure. I think it's maybe an orchid. Look how tiny the flowers are. I will have to check that out. It's very pretty. Well, looks like the rain's coming in. Got some clouds up here. To get where we want to go, we're going to take this little trail here. It's just off to the side of the road, and we're gonna follow it up, and it goes out to this really beautiful opening. Like I said, amazing views, both Playa Hermosa and Playa Jacó. I absolutely love it when the mist starts to roll in. So if you can see, way out there in the distance is Playa Hermosa, and then all back here are the hills of Hermosa. A little cloudy on this side, but back there is Playa Jacó. have that view of Playa Jacó. You can see all the clouds coming in. Oh, look at over here. So misty. I don't know about you guys, but I absolutely love mist. Reminds me of a spooky, haunted forest. Just in time for Halloween, which is coming up next month. So I think this is where I'm going to stop and have some food. I see a toucan. So back there, where there's clouds right now, I was up there about a month ago with Kelly. I had done that mountain, but on the other side, which, you know, it's a difficult trail, but not like the one that we took. Somebody had told me about the second trail, which is an old abandoned trail, and it's really not maintained at all. And it was tough. I mean, I didn't really know what to expect, but yeah, it was quite tough, quite technical. And you have to be careful out there because they do get a lot of landslides. But when we got to the top at the lookout, you know, we started to hear this noise. I was gonna just go to the end of the trail, which was maybe 5 meters away. And as I turned around, I saw something quite dark and large moving around and just shuffling around. My first instinct was just to yell and like, hey, what the hell's that? And then I could see it running past, and sure enough, it was a wild pig, a wild boar, or I'm not sure what they are here, peccary, but I don't know if it's a peccary because it was larger than any peccary I've seen. And then we heard it snorting and shuffling its feet again, and it made its way back into the bush, thankfully. Yeah, we both had a laugh because it kind of startled us, you know, and you do have to be careful and you can't let your guard down because you never know what's out there. And I know that wild pigs can come charging at you, and especially since we were standing right on the edge of a cliff, you know, it wouldn't be a good idea if that thing came charging at us at that moment. Okay, one of the cool things up here that you will find is Spanish moss. Down here, got a little sample of it that has fallen from the tree. And you can just see how beautiful that is. And you'll only find this growing at a certain altitude. So you won't find it down towards the beach. You have to go up into the mountains where it's a little bit cooler, gets a little bit more rainfall to find this. But there you go, Spanish moss. So let's go take a walk around this Tres Marias. I really like this area because it's really nicely groomed. The trail is nice and soft, everything is green. One good thing I can show you guys up here is a mature pinnatipartita. So like I told you earlier, they grow all over in this region. And here's one. You kind of got to be careful. It's on the side of a cliff. There you have it over in this tree right here. It's just a really nice place to come have lunch and chill out. You want to get away from the noise. I don't know. It's got a really nice peaceful energy up here. Now we're coming on to a pretty incredible view of Playa Hermosa. Check that out. There's just a few houses back here. Now if you go further along here, there's a trail that leads out onto a back road, and there's a little castle type house that's tucked away in the mountains back there. But that's gonna be it for me for today. I have a friend's birthday party to attend this afternoon, so I'm gonna head home. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that little hike to Tres Marias. I can't believe I've made it to over 500 subscribers, and yeah, I just want to say again, thank you to each and every one of you who has stopped by, commented, liked, watched all my videos, given me advice, helped me identify plants. So to all of you, thank you so much. And to those of you just tuning in today, thanks again for stopping by. I hope that you really enjoyed this. I have some good stuff coming up. Like I said, in a week from now, I am heading over to Chindama Waterfalls with my friend Kelly. So that video should be out in 2 weeks' time for you. Before the year's end, we've got Chiripo coming up. So definitely there's going to be some training sessions in between there that you're not going to want to miss. Thanks again. Pura Vida.